Hi, my name's Tommy and I work at Velocity Tuning. Today's video is our top 10 modifications for the F90 M5. Starting with number 10, exhaust tips. No one wants to own a lovely car like an M5 having an exhaust tip that looks like a World War II baked bean can. The ones that I've got from Motorsport, these are their gloss black tips, and the reason I use these and not other ones is they have the cutout that's used on the original exhaust. A lot of the tips that people are fitting, they're having to cut off the tabs. I didn't really want to do that, so I went with these Motorsport tips. Number 9 on the list, you might not even consider it a modification, but I do because my car didn't come with it and it is a software modification. That is Apple CarPlay. On mine, it didn't come with that, so I've had it activated. I've got the full screen version and I don't have to pay yearly subscriptions for it. It's just on the car and it's there. And the reason why I like having that so much is 1 for Spotify and 2 for Waze. If there's any police up ahead or anything I need to be aware of, it's coming up on the screen and letting me know. Number 8 on the list is speakers. So my car came with a Harman Kardon system as standard, and although I liked it, I had people coming in with Bang & Wilks and one guy that had an amazing aftermarket system, and I just felt like it was lacking. So I hit up Alpha1 and I got their subs, their mids and the tweeters installed on my car, and it completely transformed the music in there. Now, after that, I had someone come in with a Bang & Wilks at night, and all the ambient lighting coming through the speaker covers looked amazing, and I was a bit envious of that. Well, that's now been resolved as well, because there's companies out there that make the Bang & Wilks speaker covers with the ambient lighting. So I've gone from Harman Kardon over to Alpha1 Speakers with the Bang & Wilks speaker covers over the top. Coming in at number 7, we've got the body styling kit. We took the car over to Autoid and they took it from a boring looking 5 Series over to an absolute monster of an M5. Starting off, we've got the carbon splitter. This splitter with no number plate makes the front end of the car look so mean, and if I'm driving behind you, you're probably just going to move straight out my way. Second, we've got the mirror caps. Carbon mirror caps, carbon side grille, carbon side skirts. The side of this car is looking just as aggressive as the front. And then finally, if we come right round to the back of the car, we've got the carbon spoiler. As you guys know, these come with a spoiler already, but this one's carbon fibre and it's got a bit more of a lip on it. This has changed this car from looking like a normal M5 to just looking a bit more aggressive. As you guys know, when it comes to cars, the M2, the M3, the M4 look pretty aggressive out the box, but the M5 is always a bit more understated. For me, I just wanted to liven it up a little bit, and Autoid helped me do that. Coming in at number 6, I've chosen the wheels. With a car with this much road presence, you need a wheel to match. So we've took off the OEM 20-inch wheels and moved them over to a bigger 21-inch wheel. Now, it's not just about how it looks, it's about grip as well. And with these cars mainly coming out the box with a Pirelli P0, to me they're a ditch finder. I absolutely cannot stand them. I've took this over to a Michelin 4S and now I'm getting ridiculous times like 2.4 0 to 60 and 9 second quarter miles. Coming in at number 5, it might have been number 8 originally, is the Alcantara wheel. I've took this car out to the Nürburgring, and once I start to crap myself because I'm nearly dying, my hands get pretty sweaty and I'm slipping all over the wheel, and it can be even scarier than it originally was just trying to cope with my driving. This gives me tons of grip, it feels really nice, and I think when you're driving a car like this, it is about feeling comfortable. Having a massage seat on, the ambient lighting, good music, the steering wheel feeling nice, it all comes together as a package, and for me, the Alcantara wheel is a no-brainer. Coming in at number 4, we have the Eventuri intakes and inlets. The intakes are a proper bit of bling, they look amazing, but more importantly, when you've got the bonnet down, they also sound amazing. This is a no-brainer for anyone that wants to spend a bit of cash on their M5. And then on top of that, you've got the inlets. They finish off the carbon piece nicely, but they actually add quite a bit of power. The stock one's restrictive, and if you are pushing a lot more power than a stock guy, you need to get every advantage you can, and this is one of the ways of doing it. Coming in at number 3, we have a solution for the very well-known problem of leaking expansion tanks. If you've been watching me for a while, you would have seen me crying and moaning about the tanks leaking, and we've now got to a point where there's some solutions on the market. And funnily enough, they're not even from BMW. So The solution I've got was the first one to come onto the market, and I believe the company's called Level 7, I&D, and a few other companies sell them, and it's basically a surround for the tank. It is pretty expensive for what you're getting, and it doesn't really resolve the issue of the tank leaking. It just resolves the issue of the injectors and coils getting wet. So at least you haven't got to worry about the engine getting damaged. So I've got that on here, but there are some other solutions that potentially could be better. We'll have to see when they come out. But one is RK Auto Works in America. They came out with a proper billet tank. It uses the OEM cap, a few other bits. It looks really trick. They're taking pre-orders. There's another guy out in the US, and for the people that are running intakes that have got like the silicon bit going through here, they've got quite an opening, so they're relocating the coolant tanks over to there. For me, I've got the Inventuris, or if you've got a stock intake, that's not going to be an option for you. And then in the UK, there's another good company that are coming out with their own solution, and that should be similar, where it's going to take away the issue completely, so you haven't got to worry about the tank leaking instead of it just going over the injectors. So it's been an important issue for me, and that's why this is ranked at number 3. In at number 2, it's a cheeky plug for the Velocity tuning package. Yeah, okay, it's our own map, but it's really worth having. Nobody buys an M5 because they're economical and nice to poodle around in. What interests us is the amount of power that they make. But there's so much more untapped left to get into. So for a day's work, we can add another 200 brake to this. And in real world terms, that's given us a 2.4 0 to 60. It's given us a 9.9 quarter mile, and it's absolutely transforming the car into a supercar beating machine. Now, a lot of cars I get, I'm putting hybrids on, I'm building the engine, I'm putting methanol kits on, I'm trying to do everything I can to get more and more power. I'd say this is the first car I've got where I put our full stage 2 package on, and it's stayed that way for years because I absolutely love it. I don't actually want any more from it, and I love the way it is. I've got the drivability and the comfort of it being an M5, but at the click of a button, I've got all this extra power left to tap into. And that's why the Velocity tuning package takes our number 2 slot. So we're at the number 1 slot. What could possibly be better than a Velocity tuning package or some big 21-inch wheels? Well, you know when you watch a film and you get to the end, you think, is that it? Is that how we're going to leave this? You might feel that way about me today. So without further ado, my favourite modification for the F90 M5 is LCI brake lights. I absolutely love them. I think they transform the car. If I could only have one mod, it really would be those back lights. The car looks so much more modern. And it's not just because these lights look good, it's because the ones it came with look bloody awful. They look like they're coming from a 1990s Mondeo. I don't know why they decided to go with these, but for me, this is the best modification. Hopefully you guys weren't expecting some big crazy thing like turbos or a forced engine. For me, brake lights is my favourite modification. Now, if you want to see more F90 content and you want to see what we're getting up to down here, please click subscribe, and thank you for watching.